Okay, this is the cosmic reading for Gemini for 2020, the energy, and of course, soul activation. I'm coming to you with the cosmic reading cards by Nari, Anastasia. I want to say that's how you pronounce her name. I'm not sure. And of course, this is the actual casing that it comes in. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Sometimes I don't have my camera appropriately placed. And so let's see. Yeah. All right. So for Gemini, your cards jumped out immediately. So let's see what you have here. Oh, you have two cards. The first card is balance for Gemini moving into 2020. You're going to want to focus on being balanced. Maybe a particular space that you want to be in with your life. Balancing the left and right side of your brain, making sure that you are balanced in your thoughts and also your heart, that you're right in the middle of where you need to be in 2020. Not to the right, not to the left, but right in the middle, exactly on point is what I see in this card. Okay. And then the next card you have is your shadow self, which honestly is not something that is surprising considering you have also the balance card. So really what you're going to want to be balancing is your shadow self moving into 2020. And what I see in this card is that there is going to be a bit of some challenges that are going to ensue due to your shadow self, okay? That there are different colors that are going to come from the parts of yourself that you can't actually see. And there will be certain parts of your shadow self that you will be able to have some visual of, which is why you see that there is a part of her face that is covered with her hair, meaning it's somewhat masked or covered. And then you see that, of course, there is the side where you can see she has one eye that's closed and that there are different lightning strikes that kind of come down. So I would say that that's going to kind of be part of what you're going to experience, Gemini, moving forward in 2020, and you're going to want to balance that part of yourself. So let's see what the cards specifically say, and I will kind of chime in to let you know what else comes up. So Gemini, you want to balance. So much energy is being spent on others. It's time to replenish your own energy. You are your own source of that energy. So like I said, you want to be on point, Gemini, for 2020. Not necessarily focusing on one side or the other, but right where you need to be for yourself. You're that power source, right? And of course, if you have this card, it lets you know that there is a need for balance and equilibrium with your inner world. Your external world is merely a reflection of your inner world. And right now, there is a call for balance in giving and receiving energy. You have been taking care of everyone else's needs, but not your own. Thank you for being so nurturing to everyone's soul. But of course, you really need to be giving a lot of time to yourself. And what you need to do is you need to be focusing on balancing yourself and how you give and how you receive so that it's not uneven. Being in this unbalanced state can cause you to feel overwhelmed and fatigued when dealing with challenges. When you give so much of your energy, it is vital that you replenish your energy at some point in time. You can achieve this by taking some time out, of course, going in nature. And if you look at this card, you can see that there is a leaf there. So you want to find balance with yourself, going out in nature, taking a break. This person here is honestly probably doing some yoga. And if you guys are up for it, developing a practice of yoga, meditation, and or any type of practice that's going to help balance you and put you into a certain energy is what you want to kind of be thinking about, whether it's journaling, whether it's, doing some type of activity out in nature, visiting the river, if there's an ocean near you or a lake, if there is just a park somewhere where you live, being able to visit that and just kind of just be outside. And so what you want to also make sure that you're doing, Gemini, is that you're practicing self-love, that you're being nurturing to yourself, and most importantly, making sure that you are eating foods that give you energy. And so one thing that I want to stop and share here is how important it is to utilize your food in a sense of replenishing your energy. There are so many different types of foods that we enjoy, like cookies and cakes and all this kind of stuff that we have for the holidays. But moving forward in 2020, you want to make sure that you're picking foods that are going to repair your energy, that's going to repair your cells, that are going to help build you up as you move forward, and that foods that are going to help balance you out. These types of foods that are going to give you energy, of course, your greens. We already know that. Any type of, juice, natural juice, herbs, of course, also help to balance you out. Essential oils, those types of things. You want to be focusing on those things that are going to bring you back to yourself. And then, of course, you want to be around people that are also going to provide energy that is in alignment with your energy. And so there might be certain people that may be taking from you. You just want to be mindful of the types of people that you need to be around that also give to you. Okay? So you want to be able to balance that, even if there are situations that sometimes kind of cause an imbalance or lead to an imbalance. You want to make those types of choices. It is also time to really ask yourself why your outer world is sending you situations, circumstances that exhaust you mentally, physically, and emotionally. You want to be able to ask yourself those questions so that you can bring yourself back into alignment in particular areas, so that you're able to pinpoint where the unbalance is, and you're able to bring it back onto your map in your center, right, of your world. When one gives too much without receiving the equivalent energy back, deeper issues relating to self-worth, self-love are exposed. Do you constantly give to prove your worth or justify your existence? Perhaps there is an underlying fear of losing what it is you cling to. Dear one, you are worthy, unique, and so beautiful. You are pure light, divine light, connecting to the cosmic pool of abundance and blessings and love. Your affirmation for 2020 is, I am valuable, I am lovable, I am worthy of love. Okay? So that's for you, Gemini. And you also have the shadow self. And with the shadow self, Unless you learn to face your own shadows, you will continue to see them in others because the world outside you is only a reflection of the world inside you. You may be wondering why you've been facing so many triggers and challenges of late. Things have been going well despite a few humps along the way. But the challenges that have been appearing all around you recently seem so overwhelming and, of course, disorienting. Just when you thought you had everything under control, it seems as though the world has suddenly shifted. Spirit understands your confusion and uncertainty during this period. Rest assured, dear one, this is a time of cleansing and clearing all that was avoided and hidden inside you. Healing of the worlds within is taking place and raw emotions are resurfacing. You are exploring and uncovering the darkest shadow of yourself. This is why you are being faced with an insurmountable challenges and triggers. You see, it's only from being pressured or pressed that the dark side of you surfaces. This is an important, necessary time for you. As hidden parts of you surface, be gentle. Send love and compassion to the wounded parts of yourself. If there is rage, send love. If there is hurt, send love. May love reign on all aspects of you, whether dark or light. This period can be testing, being challenged by unforeseen events triggered by people closest to you. Through this cleansing process, your level of consciousness is expanding to a new and heightened state of awareness and clarity. As you move through this period, be assured you are not alone and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Your affirmation is, I am healed as I acknowledge all aspects of myself. So, Gemini, you want to be able to balance that side of yourself, the shadow side, the dark and the light. And of course, you want to be able to bring it to a point where you're not focusing too much on the dark. You're not focusing too much on the light, but you're focusing on what is actually resonating with you, which is right on point. Making sure that you're not judging yourself when there are certain parts of your life or situations that you're not able to understand and that may trigger certain emotions in you. Of course, being able to go within, to meditate, make the good choices, people, places, and things that are going to help bring the energy back to a certain level, back to a balance is kind of what you want to focus on. Healthy foods, people, places, and things that will help to support you as you move forward into 2020. All right, that concludes the soul activation for Gemini. Please like and subscribe.